Yeah, I'm here as the tag team person to allow him to finish drinking the beer he actually brought. So my name's David, Dave Deaton. I own St. Louis Wine and Beer Making, who's been supplying beer making, wine making, cheese, cider, mead, etc. supplies to St. Louis for, well, 11 years since I've owned it and back into the mid-'70s through previous ownership. If you've ever homebrewed beer, you've probably heard of us. So anyway, I've got this crazy idea, like most homebrewers get an idea that they want to either own a homebrew shop or a microbrewery in their life. It's like their dream, right? So I started life as a computer programmer, so this was just a hobby for a long time. And so, yeah, in 2006, I got the opportunity to buy St. Louis Wine and Beer Making just to own a homebrew shop, which was awesome. Because, like, I convinced my wife I get to buy my homebrew supplies at cost, just kind of nice. So then a couple of years ago, I got the crazy idea that, yeah, I think I'd like to take on the second dream of every homebrewer and also own my own brewery, which was crazy because I almost shot myself in the head the other day. But anyway, we passed our final inspection, and we're now actually open. So as Steampunk Brewworks, which is inside St. Louis Wine and Beer Making. We don't have any outside signage, so if you make your way there, just look for St. Louis Wine and Beer Making, because that's where we're at. And the inside back corner, which used to be the classroom, tasting, etc. area, is now a brewery. And then across the street or the aisle or the hall from there is the tasting room and bar, which we got fully licensed to make and sell our own beer. So it's kind of cool. So in addition to having the beer, we have this sort of steampunk theme going on. So I don't know if any of you know what steampunk is. I've come across mixed people, some of which know a lot about what steampunk is, and some of which was like, is what? So steampunk's basically the short version, so I don't take a long time, it's like a subgenre of sci-fi. Okay, it's a sci-fi sort of world based loosely in Victorian times, and it has kind of two main routes, although there's probably other subroots. One is Wild West, because Wild West was around during like the 1900s, late 1800s to early 1900s, when there was steam power and the Industrial Revolution was in like full swing, Victorian era stuff or the high class things. So those two routes sort of go in those directions. One is sort of Wild West sort of way, and the other is a very Victorian top hat, waistcoat sort of thing. So steam powered, breweries are steam powered. I sort of got this crazy idea that we'd call our brewery Steampunk Brewworks. So that's where the name comes from. Beers on tap. I kind of like a lot of different beers, so people keep asking, what's going to be your flagship beer? Like, I don't know. I like a lot of different beer. So if we have one beer, that limits me to having only one beer all the time on that tap. Even if I really like it, it's going to get boring after a while. So the idea is we want to try to fill 6 taps of our own beer and have a few guest taps. So the 6 taps that we fill will be on a rotating basis. So we're going to kind of make a goodly supply of many things. IPAs, the starting lineup at least will be something like a Tafel beer, a German blonde, a wheat beer, a Irish red, a brown, or not a brown, an amber pub ale sort of one that doesn't really fit in a style, but that has an interesting story, which I don't think I have time for. A porter, which has been in development for probably 10 years now since I've been working on it. Probably some other things I'm forgetting about to get started with, and then after that, more things in different variations. So pretty much that's it. We're located in our address is Chesterfield. So if you Google steampunkbrewworks.com or St. Louis Wine and Beer Making, you'll find it's in Chesterfield, but it's technically in Town and Country. So we're kind of on the borderline where the post office puts us in Chesterfield, and Town and Country, where we pay our taxes to, puts us in Town and Country. So sort of on that borderline. If anyone knows where the Lamp and Lantern Village is at Route 141 and Clayton Road, if you take Clayton like far west until you hit 141 and then keep going a little bit, you'll cross just past Woods Mill Road and we're there. Question?